You just made that final, triumphant payment on a big debt. Maybe you cleared out a high-balance credit card you have been carrying for years, or maybe you paid off the remaining balance on your auto loan. You log into your Experian account expecting to see your credit score rocket upward into financial glory, but when the screen loads, you get a confusing surprise. Your score either did not move at all, or worse, it actually dropped by 10 or 15 points. It feels like a punch in the gut. You did the exact right thing financially by paying off what you owed, yet the scoring system seems to be penalizing you for it. That frustration usually leads to a scary question. Is paying off debt actually bad for your Experian score, or is the whole credit system rigged? The short answer is no, the system is not broken, and paying off debt is always the smartest move for your long-term financial health. But the way Experian calculates your credit score is counterintuitive. To understand why your score behaves the way it does after a payoff, you have to realize that Experian does not measure how rich you are or how well you save money. It measures risk for lenders. And when you pay off debt, you change the mathematical landscape of your credit profile in ways that algorithms interpret in surprising ways. To figure out whether paying off debt will raise or lower your Experian score, you first have to look at the specific type of debt you are clearing. Debt generally falls into two categories: revolving debt, like credit cards and lines of credit, and installment debt, like personal loans, auto loans, and mortgages. How Experian handles these two types of debt is night and day. Let us start with revolving debt, because this is where paying off what you owe usually yields the most dramatic score increases. About 30% of your FICO score calculated through Experian is based on your amounts owed, and a massive chunk of that is your credit utilization ratio. Lenders view high utilization as a red flag because it signals that you might be stretched thin financially. When you pay down credit card debt, your utilization ratio drops immediately once the new balance is reported. Scoring models love low utilization, ideally under 10% across all your revolving accounts. So why do some people pay off a credit card and see their Experian score drop instead? This happens almost entirely because of one fatal mistake: closing the credit card after paying it off. When you pay off a credit card to a zero balance, your utilization drops to zero, which helps your score. But if you then call the bank and close that account, you completely erase that card's credit limit from your overall available credit pool. Imagine you have two cards, each with a $5,000 limit, giving you $10,000 in total credit. Card A has a balance of $2,500 and Card B has a balance of zero. Your overall utilization is 25%. If you pay off Card B and leave it open, your utilization is lower. Now let us look at installment loans, auto loans, student loans, personal loans, and mortgages. This is where the post-payoff score drop trips up almost everyone. When you pay off an installment loan in full, you do something incredible for your monthly budget, but in the eyes of Experian's credit scoring algorithm, an active account just closed. 10% of your FICO score relies on your credit mix, the variety of active credit accounts you manage, such as having both revolving credit cards and installment loans running simultaneously. If you pay off your only auto loan, you no longer have an active installment account on your profile. The scoring model notices that your active credit mix has diminished. Additionally, scoring models factor in how close an active installment loan is to being paid off. An active loan with only 5% of the original principal remaining gives your score a nice bonus because you are demonstrating responsible long-term repayment. The moment that final payment clears, the account closes. The algorithm loses that active, low-balance installment booster, and your score might temporarily dip 5 to 20 points. What if you are paying off a collection account or a past-due debt? Older scoring models did not give you much credit for paying off an old collection account. The collection marker stayed on your report and continued to weigh down your score regardless of balance. However, newer models like FICO 9, Vantage Score 3.0, and Vantage Score 4.0 ignore paid collection accounts entirely once the balance hits zero. Paid collections also look infinitely better to human mortgage underwriters and manual loan reviewers than unpaid ones. So how do you navigate all of this strategically so that paying off debt gives you the absolute maximum boost to your Experian score without unnecessary drops? First, Prioritize revolving debt over installment debt if your primary goal is an immediate score increase. Crushing high-balance credit cards yields the fastest, most powerful gains in your credit profile because of credit utilization reduction. Second, when you pay off a credit card, keep the account open. Put the physical card in a drawer or lock it away, and place a small recurring subscription like Netflix on it with automatic payments enabled. This keeps the account active, preserves your average age of accounts, and maintains your overall available credit limit, keeping your utilization baseline as low as possible. Third, if you see a minor score dip after paying off an auto loan or student loan, do not panic. That dip is temporary. Within 2 to 3 months of consistent on-time payments across your remaining open accounts, your score will stabilize and rebound. Remember that paid-off loans stays on your Experian report as a positive closed account for up to 10 years, continuously reinforcing your payment history, which makes up 35% of your score. Finally, keep the big picture in mind. A credit score is a tool, not the ultimate goal of your financial life. Paying off debt eliminates interest charges, reduces your monthly obligation, lowers your debt-to-income ratio for future mortgage approvals, and frees up real cash flow to build wealth. Never delay paying off real debt just to protect a temporary 10-point fluctuation on a credit graph. Pay off what you owe, manage your open accounts wisely, give the reporting cycle time to catch up, and let your overall financial strength speak for itself.